In 2025, a patent is due to expire that could change smartphone gaming forever, and this device could be the build-up to something a lot more special. Let me talk you through why we might be about to witness a pivotal moment in mobile gaming, and how two completely different devices are integral to this story. Hey guys, I'm Ryan Thomas, and do you remember this little guy? It's Sony Ericsson's Xperia Play, and it was pretty much the PlayStation phone. It came out almost 14 years ago, and it ran PlayStation games with this slide-out controller pad that really fixed a lot of what made mobile gaming so bad, the controls. I recently covered this phone in another piece of content, and I asked the question, why is it that other manufacturers aren't implementing a controller style like this? Because this, the almost brand new ROG Phone 9 Pro, is the other end, the up-to-date gaming phone. Sure, it has capacitive shoulder buttons and accessories that you can attach to the phone should you want to improve the ergonomics when gaming, but those things come with their own caveats, like the fact you have to haul around a whole extra thing when you go out with your phone, just to sneak in 5 minutes of extra gaming. And with regards to those triggers, yeah, they're useful, but they're not nearly the same as a full set of controls with tactile feedback. And those of you who have tried to play more than a couple of minutes some serious titles on mobiles will know that the on-screen controls are just absolutely not it. What Sony did was the ultimate compromise, and given how thin we can now make OLED displays, how efficient our processors are, and how much better our manufacturing tolerances are, you'd think we could make a way improved version of this, right? I mean, with how insane the handheld PC market is right now, there's clearly scope and a gap in the market, so why has no one built a follow-up? Well, you can thank Sony itself for this. The company holds the patent for mobile phones with a gamepad attached or sliding out. This has been a roadblock stopping the likes of Asus ROG, Razer and so on from creating a follow-up to the frankly wonderful Xperia Play. But the thing is, that patent is set to expire on the 21st of June 2025, so in the next sort of 7 or 8 months. It's possible we could see development of a new phone with those handheld controls. And this isn't only exciting because of the possibility of a dedicated hardware setup with controls in a footprint that slides up into your pocket way more easily than the chunky additional ones, but also because mobile compute has got so good to the point where it's actually starting to look very promising and a good direction for a form of gaming to go in. I mean, just look at how incredible Apple's Mac Mini performs with its ARM chips. Then look at the power of the ROG Phone 9 Pro's Snapdragon 8 Elite, and you can see that this desktop computer pivot to ARM and the already established and powerful mobile ARM chips that we've had in our phones for the past couple of generations have the scope to become seriously powerful and efficient pieces of technology. I mean, the Steam Deck runs an x86 chip, and that thing is fantastic. It sold like hotcakes and did so much good for the Linux gaming community that many, including myself, were stunned at just how fast a lot of these games were either becoming natively compatible or ported over with a compatibility layer. But the issue with the Steam Deck is it's huge, not really in the same kind of category as something like this. The ROG Phone 9 Pro's chip, the Snapdragon 8 Elite, performs how its name suggests. It is seriously capable, that can and does run COD Mobile, Genshin Impact, Riptide and heaps of other games stupidly well, and proves that the internal technology, the insane performance, the efficiency in the compute, that's all pretty much there. It's at that level that we require for mobile gaming, and you know what, it's only going to get better. And I don't mean just playing mobile versions of games, I mean playing emulated titles and eventually full-fat games on ARM. This is already a big and heavy phone, just like their previous gaming phones, and with their huge batteries and bigger cooling systems, I don't see how making it just a smidge bigger would be a major problem. Getting rid of that ridiculous camera setup on the back for something more akin to, say, a Pixel 8a's to accommodate the slide-out mechanism with a control pad built in. See, this phone is far more tame than the previous ROG phones that we've had, and the camera is much bigger. And I guess Asus figured it needed to keep up with flagship phones, the normal ones, what they were doing with their cameras, but they didn't execute this super well. Like, yes, it is closer to a Pixel than the previous ROG generations, but it's been proven that software can do much of the heavy lifting when it comes to the cameras, so why add just such a huge setup on the back of this thing? As much as I can appreciate the toned down look, I don't think most people are going to want a gaming phone regardless of what it looks like. Like, lean into it, because you're not going to make even a small dent in the overall smartphone market share. There is a pretty cool mini LED matrix on the back, you know, very nice, and I like the dual USB-C ports with the headphone port, actually similar in setup to what you'll find on the Xperia Play. But imagine this phone with a set of slide-out controls. I really think that it would sell out immediately, even if you had to make it even thicker and heavier than it is. And that's before the whole compatibility issue. See, right now, if you want to play more serious games on here, you're limited to what the Play Store offers, which, let's face it, is not a massive library. But then there are also emulation options, which are pretty popular at the moment for playing older titles on your phone. And then there's game streaming, which the PlayStation Portal has proven can be popular, though that setup relies on a stronger internal network connection than a fatter online one. Most people are more likely to have that better internal LAN than a chunky WAN plan. The ROG Phone 9 Pro in general is a really good phone. 185Hz AMOLED screen, it's very bright, very fast, ideal for gaming. The performance in either 512GB or 1TB is fantastic for storing those larger titles. Its 5800 mAh battery is nice and chunky to offer more longevity. And the camera, you know what? It's not bad. It's got that gimbal OIS, which makes video surprisingly good. Though honestly, I'm not sure why anyone would buy a gaming phone for the stabilization in video capture. It just makes no sense to me. The adaptive triggers are neat, the speakers are great, but it's not a perfect phone. 2 years of upgrade support for a phone that's this expensive is absolutely laughable for 4 figures, and it runs into that big aforementioned issue: controls. With Sony's patent expiring and the potential the Phone 9 Pro has, the ROG Phone 10 or X could be an absolute banger with proper controls and that insane performance. The whole not sure if it wants to be a gaming phone or a normal flagship thing just isn't working for me. Give us proper software support, have decent cameras with more of a focus on processing, and then lean into the whole gaming phone thing. And most people are buying an iPhone or a Galaxy anyway. What do you guys think? Would you buy a brand new Xperia Play follow-up? Did you own one of those things back in the day? I'm really glad I bought one to revisit it, because it just made me realize how good that formula is. And what do you make of the ROG Phone 9 Pro? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. How many of you are hardcore mobile gamers? While you're down there, be sure to hit like if you enjoyed today's content and subscribe to never miss another upload. I've been Ryan Thomas, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.